Welcome everybody. Thanks for being here with us tonight. My name's Donny. I'm one of the VEMA Trader team. I'm actually going to pass it over to Richard Warman, who is our founder of the company. So yeah, Richard, take it away, man.
Cool. Thank you very much for the intro there, Donny. G'day everybody. My name is Richard Morwood and I'm the founder of VEMA Trader. Back in 2017, I was the leader of an R&D or an innovation team. And we used to always ask ourselves, what if we could do something some way? And as I was doing my technical analysis back in 2017, I was juggling all the tools, you know, your Exchange, your Excel document, position size calculator, trading view. And as I was doing all that, I found that trading, as much as the technical analysis side is really, really fun and I love it, the actual execution and managing of trades was actually quite a difficult thing to do. And so I started taking that same innovation approach that we had, which is what if we could draw a trend line on a chart and then we could have the entire end-to-end process of a trade happen in a visual format. And then as I started building that, I realized that, hey, this is working and trading can be a hell of a lot easier. And it took away all of the stress. And so we're here tonight to talk about how VEMA can improve your trading performance. And so if we step over, what is VEMA Trader? So yeah, back in 2017, we've started putting this software together that could automate most of the trading journal process, but still leave you, the actual trader, in full control. So VEMA Trader, the trading platform that improves performance through inbuilt risk management, automating conditional entries, integrating your journaling and your data analysis. And that enables you to free yourself up to focus on what really, really matters. And so VEMA, the name comes because it is an acronym for Visualize, Execute, Monitor, and Analyze. And so for the end-to-end process of what you do as a trader, you start visualizing everything by going to TradingView charts. And so you would typically draw a trend line on a chart and do your technical analysis and think, where am I going to enter? And you start to formulate what your plan is going to be. So you can visually see what everything was going to be happening. And so the cool part with VEMA Trader is it's built over the top of TradingView. So if you've been using TradingView in the past, you'll feel right at home with VEMA Trader. But then as we were building it, we started asking, well, what if again? Well, what if we could do multiple trades on the chart instead of just the one? And so here, looking at the example chart, we've got a lovely trend line on the way down and an alpha support. So it looks like we've got a bit of a descending wedge here. We know that, well, if price was to get above Bravo, it wants to go long and we can enter a long. And if it was to go down below alpha, then we're expecting it to go short. And so we can set up multiple trades on the same chart itself. In fact, we don't stop at two. We can do loads and loads and loads of them, which is super cool. So after you've visualized and you know what you're going to do and when you're going to do it, you get your alert, and then you might get your alert while you're like in a meeting at work, or you're driving down the highway, like, hey, let me just pull over the car on the highway at 110 k's an hour, stop traffic so I can manage so I can execute my position. It's not exactly something you could really go ahead and do. And so VEMA Trader says, well, let me automate that risk calculation for you, where let me deal with all those conditional entries. So it should only execute when we've actually got the close above or below the trend line, or we've confirmed the bounce we're looking for. But then we started asking, well, what if we're getting an alert that says when we should do this, what if we could just make it do it as well? And so VEMA Trader goes ahead and says, I know you've told me where your entry is going to be. You've told me where your stop loss is going to be. You've told me where your take profit's going to be. And so VEMA says, I can set up all of that on the exchange for you. I'll set your stop loss. I'll set your take profit. I'll confirm they're all in place, and then I'll enter that position for you. But then it also says, well, as you've gone ahead and visualized it and executed it, it integrates all the journaling into the one single platform. So you write your notes as to what you're going to be up to, when you're going to take the entry, why you think that is the time to go ahead and take the entry, and add as many tags as you'd like on your trade. So in this case here, we'd be looking for support and downtrend and descending triangle, or whatever other kind of tags we could think on there. Maybe we would call it the Donny Rhys special short maneuver, and then we could give a tag for that, and then we could later on use those tags to analyze our data. So VEMA Trader visualizes your trade plan and then helps you automates the execution according to the rules that you set what it was going to be. And then now you're in a position and you want to be able to, maybe you've got multiple positions going, you want to be able to know, how are all of my positions going? What is the risk reward to these things? Because maybe you went ahead and put them together 2 to 3 weeks ago, or maybe you wouldn't leave a trade open that long. A couple of days to a week, who knows? Anyway, so you can look at your dashboard and see in a very quick glance how your trades are actually performing and going, and what the risk reward is, how close they are to the take profit or the stop loss, instead of having to look at all of your positions one at a time. And then when you are inside of looking at one of your trades, we can go ahead and move the take profit and move the stop loss around inside of VEMA So there's no need to go back to the exchange to flip around and update your orders, and then, oh, I've changed things, so now I'm going to go ahead and add notes to my journal. VEMA says, how about you do that inside of VEMA, and it will manage that entire process for you. And then finally, once you've gone ahead and made a whole bunch of trades inside of VEMA, because you've been doing it all inside of VEMA it has access to your trading history. And so it can go ahead and help you review your trade closed. You can put cards together that say, let me group my trades in this particular fashion, and then let me analyze them in a different particular style, check out your equity curve, and ultimately it helps you find your trading edge. So that's the VEMA Trader process. So if you were to find yourself lacking on time because, funny story, one day I was looking after my daughter when she was a little baby, and she was crying and needed a nappy change, and I got the alert that said, it's time for you to go ahead and take profit on your position. Well, I'm sorry, darling, you've got to wait while daddy takes care of his trade. That wasn't quite a very good answer, I thought. So I just kind of had to lose that one as it then went down and hit my stop loss, which sucked. So if you're lacking on time, if you find yourself, risking more than you should, man, it's going to hit my stop loss. I'll just move my stop loss down. I'm pretty confident. I'll move my stop loss down. I'm pretty confident. You're not sticking to your plan. You've got poor discipline. You're having trouble with your data analysis. So as you're trying to place your trade, you're juggling between Excel, the calculator, your exchange, and TradingView to put it all together. It's kind of really frustrating to deal with all of that and stressful at once. So go ahead and come and check out the VEMA lifestyle. It's going to help you save massive amounts of time. It's going to reduce your stress and your anxiety, because so much of that is automated. The risk management's taken care of. It's going to show you how to have much better habits for your trading, and it's going to do it all from the single one platform, which is just wonderful. So next, let's hear from hey, Rhys, would you love to go ahead and give the lovely people a demo on how to visualize and execute a trade?
I would love to. So what you guys should be looking at right now is everyone's favorite moon coin, Doge. Is that right? You guys have seen that? Cool. Getting some nods. Perfect. Good to know. So I'm going to run through, just do some quick TA. So I was looking at this earlier today, and this is, to me, like the mother of all descending wedges, right? That is a huge... We're looking at the daily right now. That is a huge descending wedge. So I think Doge has a decent chance. Oh, I've trimmed my screen. Doge has a pretty decent chance of breaking to the upside, potentially. As always, none of this is financial advice. And I don't trade Doge personally, so I wouldn't go recreating these trades. But I'm just seeing something like this, right? Huge descending wedge. That's typically a bullish sign. Doge is always one of those coins that once it starts to spike, a lot of people will go, oh, Doge is mooning again. I'll go and buy some, and it really jacks the price up. So, I can do all my TA the same way that you can on TradingView through VEMA, which is really, really handy. So I'm sort of looking for the break of this level. So what I can do now is I can add a VEMA trigger. So I'll put that in here. We'll get alpha. So if I want to enter, I'm going to go for a long. So I'll draw what I think is going to happen. So if price does get up here and breaks above, I reckon there's a good chance I'm going to go up to there, let's say. I want a cross because I want price to cross alpha before I get into it. I'm going to use the candle close condition. So operate on candle close. What that does is it means that unlike a traditional buy stop market that you get on the exchanges, which just buys as soon as price hits a certain price, this one, it has to close above alpha before VEMA will enter into this trade. So I want to use that condition. I'm also going to put a expiry date on this, because if this wedge gets past, the 10th of April, then it's sort of invalid compared to what I'm seeing. So all I have to do is come to April. Let's go the 10th, and the time doesn't really matter when you're talking that kind of time frame. So now this trade is only going to enter if it crosses above alpha before the 10th of April, and it closes there on the 4-hour time frame. So then I can get into my risk management. So instead of having to go and use a position size calculator, I can literally just do all this from VEMA, and it does it all for me. So I want to risk 1%. I'm happy to risk that. I can set a minimum risk to reward so that VEMA won't enter me if this trade really spikes, like if this trade jacks, where's my rectangle tool? Can't find it. But let's say that this trade in one candle comes way up here. I wouldn't want to be in that trade because it's going to close up here. VEMA would be buying here. And my risk to reward, if I'm targeting here, and depending on what I do with my stop loss, is potentially going to be awful. So having that set as a 2-to-1 means that as soon as my risk to reward goes below 2, VEMA just won't enter that trade. I'm going to use a fixed stop loss. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use other side of trend line because I'm not sure what market structure is going to look like by the time we get up to alpha. So if I use other side of trend line, what that does is it guarantees my stop is going to come in somewhere on this side. So I'm going to use, let's give it 4%. Other side of trend line, 4%. So now wherever this enters, my stop's going to be there. It's going to be 4% below alpha. My take profit, I'm going to use a fixed value. I've done it again. I'm going to use a fixed value and I'm going to target, looks like there's a bit of resistance up here. So I'm going to target 1900, let's call that. And so you'll see VEMA gives me what we call the indicative entry. So that gives me some idea of how this trade might look. Now, obviously, the higher that this first candle closes above alpha, the higher my entry is going to be. And that's going to change my risk to reward. So what I was talking about with the minimum risk to reward, if this trade closes up there, VEMA just won't enter it because according to my rules, my minimum risk reward is 2. I don't want to be in that trade. So about there is the highest close that it can close above alpha in a single candle before I get into this trade. Most likely, it's probably going to be somewhere around, a 6 to 7 because it's more likely it's going to be that could still be a big, we're pretty zoomed out, could still be a big break, but it's not going to be that size. And so then I come to my journal. So you can see VEMA is giving me a bunch of estimates for things like my position size, my risk to reward, the leverage it's going to use for this trade. And then in my journal, I have a section for notes. So this is where I write what I'm seeing. So let's call this mammoth descending wedge. Doge loves a moon. So I want to be in this trade and catch that if it happens. So the tags are really useful for the analyze section, which Donny's going to show you guys later. So the tags that I would use here are things like my descending wedge. We're looking at a breakout. I don't have to tag long. I don't have to tag cross. Those are all automatically tagged. My risk management, my risk to reward, automatically tagged. I don't have to worry about those sorts of things. And the other one I'm going to use is 6 hours sleep because I think that's what I had last night. So I just like to use these tags as a way to set myself up. So when I come back and analyze my data, I can filter, if I go 6 hours sleep above and below, I can measure my trading based on that. And I realized long ago that my trading suffers as soon as I get below 6 hours sleep. So it's really useful to use your tags in ways like that. Confidence, because I don't really trade alts, I'm not super confident. I'm going to go with I'm more than a 4. I'm going to go a 5. And I am very happy tonight. So that setup is now saved. I've added it. That's saved. I just have to hit submit, and then that will be not in the books in the sense used to an exchange, but it'll be monitoring, it'll be waiting to enter. Now, like I was saying, Doge does love a moon. So to protect myself, what I can do here, in case it really spikes and is going to close way up the top, like I was showing before, what I can do is just set up another trade on Bravo this time. I'm going to go long again. I'm going to go cross, and then I'm not going to add the operate on candle close condition because I want this to catch it mid candle if it really spikes. So expiry date, I'm going to go the same, about the 10th of April. And then risk management, all the same, 1, 2, that's all good. We will go fixed this time. I don't want to use other side of trend line because I don't know where I'm going to be entering. I'm just going to go with a fixed 5% stop. So that'll be somewhere around there. And then the value, we use the same value, about 1900. So this way, if price was to really spike up and moon, I would get caught on my Bravo trend line and I'd get into that position. If it just breaks out slightly and closes a little bit above, then I'll get in on the alpha position. So I've sort of covered myself there in case it is a real proper Elon tweet moon candle. Same thing when I get to the notes. So this is my moonshot cover. I'll call this one. And what else? Pretty similar. So descending wedge, break, and this one we are just looking for the mid candle. Cool. Tags, again, I don't have to tag the, not having candle close because that's already tagged. So I just want to have, we'll call this moonshot. And I've been calling this my backup candle close. Backup, there's 3 C's, backup candle close cover strategy. Can't remember, but it's an awful name. So if anyone has a better suggestion, let me know. I think I've changed the name about 4 times. None of them have been good. I'll give this one a 4. I'm less confident if it is Well, actually, if it's really pumping, I'm probably more confident if anything, but I'm going to keep it. We'll go to the 5. Still very happy. So you can see that I can set up multiple trades all in one go just from that. And that way, if Doge keeps heading down, cool. Doesn't worry me. I was never in a trade. But if it does come up, close above, I'll be in that trade. And if it really moons, I'll get picked up on that moon. So then to submit those trades, and before I do, I'll talk about one of my favorite things. So by doing this, there's actually no margin tied up. So I could set up 1,000 setups on, I could set lucky dips on every alt you can imagine. No margin gets tied up until VEMA entry conditions are triggered. So I don't have to worry about, I've just tied up, 90% of my margin here. Now I can't trade. And these are going to sit here for potentially a month while they wait to be entered. I can't take other trades because my margin's tied up. With VEMA, none of that's a worry, right? It's just waiting until entry before it ties up any of your margins. So I can set these trades that may never come off. There's really no downside to it to me, except for the potential of losing the trade itself. But if I'm happy to take that risk, there's no downside to setting these up because it doesn't tie up margin. When I want to submit, all I have to do, hit submit down here, and then that will take me back to the dashboard. And from here, Donny is going to run you guys through monitoring and the Analyse screen. So if you're good to go, Donny.
Yep. Cheers for that, Rhys.
No worries at all.
Steal it back. Now I've actually got a different screen set up. It's the monitoring screen, but it's a different account. I've set a few trades up earlier just to run you guys through this. So this is our monitoring dashboard. This is where you would just basically where I log in the morning to check to see what my trades are doing. So you can see here, I've got a couple of trades that are position open, and then there's a couple of trades that are monitoring. So these blue ones are just monitoring. They're not entered. They basically haven't triggered the conditions yet to actually enter the position. But we've got 2 trades open, one on BNB, one on FTT. And something I really love about this, it's that really quick visual to log in, look at your dashboard and see how your trades are doing. So you can see on this one, by hovering my mouse over, you can see I'm at 0.2% in profit on this one, and that one is 0.1% in the red. So that's basically my entry point. This is the bottom of my stop loss, and this is my take profit. So this is really handy just to log in and see where your trades are at in the morning. You might be really close to a take profit on this one. You can go and view it, and maybe you go, hey, you know what, I'm pretty happy with this. I might just close this trade now and take what I've got rather than waiting for my exit to get hit. So it's really, really handy for that. Now I'm going to jump in and show you something different here. So this Luna trade I set up earlier, so we can just click on view. So obviously it hasn't actually entered this trade yet. And you can see all my trade setups here. You can see my TA, everything I've drawn already. Now, what I was actually waiting on this trade for was to come down and hit this alpha trend line and then possibly bounce up and looking to take profit around that $103 mark. Now, let's just say, for example, I'm quite happy with this setup right now. I don't necessarily see the need to wait for it to come back down to this trend line, or maybe things have changed in the market and I don't think it's going to come down anymore. And I think it's actually about to head up. Maybe it's breaking this trend line and I want to enter. So I can actually just come up here and press enter position, and it will actually manually enter that position for me. So as you can see now, we've got a little blue arrow here to basically tell you that this is where you got in on that candle. And we can now, if I just zoom out a little bit more, you can see we've got our pills here that basically says that was my entry position. Hey, we're already in profit, which is a good one. Here's my stop loss and here's my take profit. Now, just like, there's a few good exchanges out there that offer the ability to manually adjust your trades just by grabbing the pills and moving them. Not all exchanges have that feature, but that is one of the features that me and Rhys said we must have in VEMA because it's a very, very handy tool. Once you've had it, you never want to go back, right? So we have the ability to basically grab our take profit. Let's say, for example, I was a little bit optimistic on my take profit here and thought, you know what, maybe I'll be happy to take profit back here. Simply just grab it and drag it down to wherever I feel like I want to put it, let it go. And you can see here, it actually gives us an update of what our current risk to reward will be based on where we've moved it. So if we're happy with that, so you can see it was originally a 3.7 to 1 trade. Now it's a 2.1. That's fine. I'm still happy with that. So we can confirm, and that's now adjusted. Now, same thing, we can move our stop loss, but we've got a little special thing here, I think, which is really cool. So if you try to move your stop loss down, it won't work. It'll just cancel. Now, the reason we've done this is, one, it's a very, very bad habit to be moving your stop loss, especially when a trade goes the wrong way and starts coming down. And if you keep moving your stop loss, you kind of go into a bigger hole. And that is a really, really bad habit to have. Sometimes it's better just to take that that small loss and move on than it is to dig yourself a bigger grave. It doesn't really work in your favor ever. The other thing is, because we've got a pretty complex algorithm built in here that has a formula for position sizing to basically maximize your position sizing with your leverage. It'll adjust your leverage and everything on the fly to avoid liquidation. And liquidation will be, not that far from underneath it. So if you go moving your stop loss down, you may actually move it below your liquidation point, in which case, if the trade does come the wrong way, you could end up losing a lot more money than you originally wanted to. So that's not a good thing. However, you can move it up. So we've allowed the ability to move it up, but you just can't move it down. All right, so that trade's now entered. Now, something else you might want to do, because we've sort of gone a little bit against our rules from what we originally had set up here. So we're going to go into the comment section. You can see it journals and logs everything that we've done already, and it takes screenshots. But we just want to add another little note. And this is where the inbuilt journaling comes in to shine, which is something that you would normally have to do on another external thing like a Excel spreadsheet or something like that, which takes up a lot of time. So this is nice and easy. So we can just make a quick comment here and just say something like, felt like it was breaking out early, didn't want to wait. Might be a little bit impatient, but whatever, just for the sake of this demo. Once we're happy with that, we can press send. And that will basically log this into our journal. So we can always come back and read these notes and wonder, like, why did I enter this trade early? Oh, that's why. And it also takes a screenshot. So you can see a screenshot here of what the trade looked like now. Obviously, I didn't draw anything different on there. So the original screenshot will look pretty similar. So yeah, that's really handy if you ever come and make adjustments on your trades. It keeps track of all that stuff. You don't have to worry about screenshotting it and saving the URL and posting it somewhere else in another program. Everything just gets done for you in here. So we go back to the dashboard now. You can see we're now in 3 trades. And you can see here how this SL, which is the stop loss, is moved. That's because that was where we originally had our stop loss, but then I've moved it. So it now gives me a little update to where I've moved my stop loss, which is, again, really, really handy to see. Sometimes I like to trail my stop losses. So sometimes that SL could end up in the green somewhere once we're well and truly in profit. So that's sort of the monitoring side or the dashboard side. But now we're going to go to the analysis side, which is where this tool really, really shines. The first thing we want to do, we got the most basic stuff here. We've got our equity curve. So you can track over a longer period of time how your balance is going and everything like that. We've got full trading history here, which you can scroll through, go to different pages and whatnot. But this is where it really shines in these analysis cards. So I'm going to add an analysis here, and I'm just going to call this one overall. Excuse me. So basically what I'm looking at here is my entire trading performance for this account, right? So you can see there's a total of 39 trades. When I'm looking at my entire trade history, there's 39 trades with a frequency average of about 12 and a half trades per month. So they're the opportunities I get. We've got a win rate of 56%. The average achieved risk to reward is 2.9 to 1. And P&L on this account is 22.91%, which isn't too bad, all right? Now, what we can also do, actually, I won't bother click on that one yet. So what we're going to do is let's dive into this analysis and see if we can fine tune this a little bit. So I'm going to create another card here, and I'm just going to call this, I like to start with the most basic ones, which is shorts versus longs. So I'm going to call this one shorts, and I'm going to add a tag, which is short. All right, so we're going to add that one in there, and I'm going to add another analysis card. We're going to call this one longs, and I'm going to add the tag long. And now we're just going to do a quick comparison to see where I'm performing better or finding more opportunities and finding better profits, right? So you can see here that we've already got some interesting data. We've got a 65% win rate on shorts, which means I've got a better win rate. Excuse me. But my risk to reward is actually a lot lower. The longs have a lower win rate, but a 3.5 to 1 risk to reward. And you can see the P&L is actually quite different. So even though when I trade long, I have a much lower win rate or a lower probability of getting them correct, my profit is actually much higher, and I still have very similar opportunities at around 6 a month. So they're very, very similar, but I'm more profitable trading longs, even though my win rate is lower. So that's already some interesting data. So if I wanted to fine tune this a little bit more, I can start adding a few more tags. So I'm going to just focus on my longs for a second. and just see what else we can sort of dig up here. So I'm going to add another tag. Now, the two main strategies we've got at the moment is cross. So I'm going to add the cross one in, and I'm just going to edit this one. Actually, I won't bother editing that one, just show you that you can actually make more. So I'll just call this one longs 2. So we're going to add the tag long, and we're also going to add the tag bounce, because that's the other strategy that we've been using. Okay, so now if I go like this, we're now looking at the two strategies. So now we can actually see, oh, okay, so when I trade crosses, which is sort of like a breakout strategy, I've got a 40% win rate, similar risk to reward, but my P&L is only about 4.5, as opposed to trading a bounce strategy, which is generally like a continuation style strategy. I'm actually much more profitable. So this is basically telling me this is where my strong point is. This is where I'm making the most money. You know, I'm doing okay here, and this is probably where I'm not doing as good. So it just gives you the ability to really fine tune and figure out what your strong points are and what your weak points are. And there's two things you can do that. You can either go, well, if that's my strong point, I'll just focus on that and just keep making money, right? Because if I've got good P&L, good win rate, I'll just keep doing that. Or you can look at the things that you're not doing too well on and go, okay, how can I improve? So what we can do is come in here and have a look and go, okay, 4.5%, it's not too bad. Win rate's not too bad, but I wonder if we can, boost that up a bit. So we can click on this button, and it will basically bring up all the trades that this statistics is looking at. And then we can go in and look at each trade and sort of analyze, do a post-analysis analysis, and figure out exactly, excuse me, if there's anything that we can improve on in our trading. Maybe you're finding that your stop losses are in the wrong spot. Maybe you're jumping the gun, or your TA or your strategy might just be off a little bit. So we can fine tune that by using the analysis cards. And that pretty much completes the loop. I will hand this back to Richard.
Thank you very much, Donny. This will stop the other person sharing of the screen. Are you sure? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. Present. Take me back to the same slide. There we go. All right. So you have now seen what the VEMA loop is and how VEMA all fits together. This is the single one platform that lets you visualize your whole trade plan, executes and automates the entry, setting the stop loss and the take profit on the exchange, automates the position sizing, helps you monitor and manage your trade while it's in action, see all your trades at once on the dashboard, and then as you've built up a history of trades, helps you analyze and see where you're going good, where you're going bad, where you can improve, and how to improve your trading edge. But now I am not biased at all in the person who helped create this thing. And so I would actually really love to pass this over to some of our current customers if I can find how to work Zoom, because I've moved the thing in the wrong spot. Good work, Richard. You're doing great. Where is the Zoom button gone?
I mean, I think it's an improvement on the last Zoom. So,
ha 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 ha. Actually, yes, that was good, wasn't it? So here we've got comments from our current customers, which is just fantastic. It's I've said it before, I'll say it again. The comments we're getting from people who are using it, it's so phenomenally good what we're getting that it sounds completely fake, like it seems generated. But it's not. It's absolutely not. And so I'd like to pass the mic over to one of our very early customers, Nick Carlo. Nick, I have just asked you. Whoops, I clicked the mute button because I thought I didn't. I apologize. It should pop up to ask you to unmute again there. Sorry, my mistake.
Good. Hello.
Thanks very much for joining us, Nick. So look, VEMA is a new product on the scene. What made you decide to give it a shot as an early subscriber?
I thought VEMA was going to help me with my trading in a way that it was going to, so I wouldn't have to be on my computer all the time. I could set up my trade and then leave it. That's what I thought VEMA was about. I didn't actually realize that it's helping me with my psychology so much, because it's brought my whole trading journey into one place. I don't have to worry about going to TradingView and switching charts and the profit calculator. Everything is all there. I get to analyze everything in the one spot, and it's just the way you guys have set it out, and it's just so easy to understand. Like I'm not the smartest tool, so It is so user-friendly. Anybody can use this, and it's really a no-brainer. Like the way you guys have worked it, it's amazing. It's totally changed my trading. It's totally changed my trading.
That is so awesome to hear. Awesome.
Yeah.
So it's totally changed your trading. How has it actually helped your trading though?
So I've been scalping a lot lately, and I used to FOMO in, and I used to just force trades, where now I'm a little bit more cautious. My psychology is a lot better now, and I don't force them now. And I'm actually, so I've hit 6 out of 12, and my risk to reward is getting better every single time. And I think I'm at about 6% in profit overall. So I never had that before. I was rushing trades, and now I'm more aware of what I'm doing. So it's working beautifully.
That is really good to hear.
Awesome.
I love that it's helping you increase your account size too. Nice.
Yeah.
One of the things you said earlier there is that VEMA has really helped with your psychology towards your trading. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I used to actually, before VEMA was around, I used to actually think that I used to fluke a lot of trades, and now I know that it's me. I'm actually doing it, and I'm getting more confident, and I can tell by the way I'm trading, and I can look back and see where I'm better, and which trades I'm placing better, which trades I'm not so good at. So it's building my confidence as well, which is kick ass. Like, it's been great.
That is awesome. That's so cool to hear. Hey, Nick, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks.
So as you heard there, guys, it's giving time back. It's massively helping with psychology. Since started using it, profitability started to go up. Nick's trusting her own TA a lot more, and that's just awesome. I really like what she said there about not forcing an entry and taking one when, ooh, hey, let's wait for the better opportunity to be there. That's cool. All right. So next up, I'd like to invite another gentleman by the name of Ryan Cornick. Just pressing the unmute there, mate. How you doing, Ryan?
Hey, how you going? Good, thanks.
Love the shirt, man.
Yeah, pretty cool. Got in early, hey?
So Ryan joined VEMA as one of our very, very, very first users when we were looking for a beta testers. We just kind of put up a post on Facebook that said, hey, just looking for some beta testers. If anyone's interested, let us know. Ryan didn't just say, yes, please pick me. He's gone ahead and written this like 2-page essay on how he's going to be really good at it, what he can do to help, what he brings to the table. Like, man, this guy is keen. We've got to give him a shot. Not only did we give him a shot give you a shot, invited you onto the beta, he's then lived up to absolutely everything and then some more, helped us find so many bugs, squished everything. So Ryan, we massively appreciate everything they've done for us. The product would not be in the state that it is without you. So massive thumbs up from the whole team. Thank you.
No problem.
So can you tell us why did you first check out VEMA so massively enthusiastically?
Oh man, when I first looked at it, I'd been trading for about 5 or 6 months, and I had watched every video on YouTube and done professional courses and stuff like that. And my trades were hitting like 50 to 60%. But the issue is I have a young family. So as you said, off changing nappies or sleeping at 2 a.m. in the morning, which is usually good. And, I'd have all my alerts set up, but I'd just miss them. So I'd have these epic trades, but I wasn't able to actually realize them. So rather than getting my win rate of 50%, I was actually getting a realized win rate of 10%, because as Nicole said, I'd FOMO into something if I was at the computer, or I'd just literally miss it. So at the point that I heard about VEMA, I was about to quit. I was just like, I don't have the time to this. As Nicole also said, my psychology was down. I was losing so much. I thought it wasn't cut out for me. When I saw that post, I was like, man, I need to see what this thing can do. Since joining the beta and from then on, my win rate has now gone to 60 to 70%. I'm actually profitable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so from 10% to 60 or 70%. Right now it's at 90%, but we all know that you have winning streaks.
So Rhys can tell us about those.
Yeah. But my average is 60 to 70%. So it's literally changed my life from the point that I was going to quit to now I'm ready to hand in my resignation to go full time anytime now. So it's just changed my trading phenomenally.
Oh, wow, dude. No, I didn't know that you got that good. Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's
Fantastic.
thank you.
awesome.
That is huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Wouldn't
Right,
have
so
done it without VEMA.
so you've been involved with the beta for quite a long time now. It's been since like mid to late-ish last year, probably. How have you found actually interacting with the VEMA team themselves?
Oh man, so Rhys said he's going
Leave
on a
Rhys's
break.
Mo out of it, man. Come on.
No, Rhys said he's going on a break tomorrow, right? Is that the first like break, even lunch break he's ever had? Because
I think so, yeah.
you put it, you reach out to him, and it's so quick. Like your response times are phenomenal. I feel like you know, you should. The wait times for other products are ridiculous. So it's amazing. And when it comes to wanting features and stuff, if there's enough noise made about a particular thing, you blink and it's there, right? Anything that's useful, the dev team are rock stars. Let's put it that way. It's been absolutely amazing.
Awesome. That's cool to hear. We've got a very high bar that we've set on the support. Now we've got to keep it up there. But
Yeah, you got to
can absolutely do that because Rhys is a fucking gun.
yeah.
Thanks.
But he's on a break tomorrow, so I'm going to submit a ticket and see how quick you guys can get to it.
I'll be my break. I'll be like phone notifications. All right, quick. No, thanks for that. That's really nice.
That's awesome.
That's true.
So what features do you enjoy most using about VEMA?
Everything. I guess if I was to rattle off a few things, like
I'll give you the top three.
Top three. I'll see if I can do three. So the fact that you can just set and forget, right? You do your TA, you're confident in your TA, and you know that VEMA will, you know, execute it while you're off changing nappies, or you know, during the American market when you're sleeping at 2 a.m. if you can get a sleep. I don't stress anymore. The fact that I don't have to sit there and watch for the candle close or for a confirmation of a like a bouncing off a trend line, VEMA does it for me. My stress levels are completely gone. And yeah, the fact that you can set up multiple trades, you don't know which way the market's going to go sometimes. So if you go, I want to go long if it hits this, or short when it hits this, it's amazing. I mean, I could rattle off forever, and there's so many more features coming that excite me like no tomorrow. Like what we've got is epic, and for what I've heard, you tease so much, it even sounds better. So,
oh, you're such a tease.
yeah.
Awesome, man. So look, we appreciate you and everything you've done for us, man. And we still love you being a customer around. Still love you. That sounds like, oh, anyway.
I love you more, and I love VEMA even more than that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks very much for joining us, man. So all of these comments here, these are just the ones that we picked to actually fit on the screen. We've had so many more, so many different private messages from everyone saying how it's helping them, which has just been incredibly cool. It's massively humbling to go ahead and write something like this and spend 5 years of your life working on something and then pushing it out there and going, oh, it's real. I hope you all like it. And then everyone going, it's actually so cool. It's, oh man. But you're right. The dev team themselves are absolute rock stars. I love working with every single person on VEMA. I was so nervous when I quit my job to go, let's go all in and focus on this. I was so scared. I remember calling Donny and Rhys and saying, you sure about this, guys? Are you sure about this? I mean, come on, man, this is a big thing. And they were both just, no, man, it's going to be fine. Go for it. And they had, yeah, I love working with the entire team. You're all amazing. Okay, cool. So you've heard what the product is. People are loving it. What does it actually cost? So at the moment, this is our second week of being officially live and launched. So until Sunday, we have knocked the price down. So it's $85. That should say per month, and this should say per year. Whoops. So $85 per month, down from $99, and $850 per year, down from $990. So pay for 10 months and get 2 extra free. Woo! But the idea here is that we as Ryan said, we've got more features that are coming up in time. And as we add more features over time, the price of VEMA will go up as we feel we've added a hell of a lot more value. And as you'll see from the cool roadmap, there's going to be some cool value. And so if you get in now, as thanks for coming in early, supporting us right now, this price here will be yours forever. So as long as you keep your subscription active, $85 per month. As we bump the price up to 100, 120, 150, whatever it goes up to over time, great. You will keep this $85 price forever. Same thing for the yearly, go for the $850, keep it there. As just a lovely extra bonus for going ahead and supporting us in our early stage of the company, you'll also be getting an official VEMA merch pack, which includes a bunch of little goodies that we'll have in there. We've got this lovely printed trade plan, which we've put together by the lovely Mr. Rhys Mugavin. Fantastic stuff. It's got loads of stuff in here. Are you checking yourself? Are you making sure you're in the right headspace? Are you sticking to your rules? And my favorite one though is the 100-point ID check. That's one of my favorite features we're going to build in future. And if you go for the yearly subscription, then we'll give you a VEMA t-shirt as well, which looks like Rhys, if he can quickly stand up and show us the shirt.
Nice polo.
No,
It's really comfy.
No,
the other one.
The Ryan, the one that
Ryan's got the one.
Ninjas all over the shop. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Awesome.
And so yeah, that's how much it's going to cost. But what else do we have? So as Ryan was saying there, we're very receptive to what our users want, what our customers want. Like, yes, we have our own ideas for what we want to do in the future, which we'll show you up next. But the big one we want to do is give the people who are here now using it what they're asking for. So based over even just in the past few weeks since we've gone ahead and released the product, people were saying, I want to be able to see more information on the dashboard at a glance. So we put in the dashboard indicator that Donny was demonstrating earlier. People said, I want to view trades that make together an Analyse card. So to start off with, it was just the Analyse card, told you the stats. People said, well, I want to see what are those trades. If I'm losing all the time when I'm long, that's me. I'm really good at shorts, but suck at long apparently. Then I can click into and see here are every single trade that you have done that were tagged with that particular strategy. And now you can look in there and see why are you going wrong. That's been really cool. One of our customers earlier said, I love that you can say where the take profit and the stop loss should be, but if my candle wicks completely high, now I've got a crappy risk reward. Can we have a minimum risk to reward with static take profit and stop loss? So a dynamic entry, dynamic risk to reward, make sure risk reward's good. Yeah, so loads and loads and loads of things. What we're currently working on at the moment is persistent chart drawing. So draw some stuff on the chart, come back the next day or a week later, stuff's still there. Favoriting trading pairs, because FTX has got so many trading pairs. And shareable trade setups and the referral program. The shareable trade setups I'm really excited about. People want to share their trades and show what their TA was. Awesome. I want you to be able to show what you've done on VEMA and say, here is my trade. There was my alpha trend line. There was the break on candle close, and there's what happened next. Like, go ahead and share that. I think that is just fantastic. And then that'll also have our referral code program in there, which should be out next week as well. Hooray! And so there's like the upcoming near term. In terms of the long term stuff, so as you've seen, what we were doing there was single entries and exits. We've had a lot of requests for staggered entries and staggered exits, so multiple take profit points along the way. As you hit take profit 1, move the stop loss up. As you hit take profit 2, move the stop loss up. People are asking for more exchanges. We know OKX is on next. I've seen some people asking in the chat about that. OKX is next, should be a couple of weeks away. At the moment, VEMA uses just trend lines for everything, so we're going to include parallel channels for that one pretty soon. The two strategies we support is cross and bounce. Now they're going to cover basically 90% of all things. If you want to go for a fibs and you're looking for a fibs bounce off 50, that's just a bounce. So we can extend that further and say, hey, let's make it an auto fibs. Put in where the bottom is, and it'll track the highest. And then, oh, look at that. It started to retrace from the highest point. What do you want to do? I want to trade up to 50 bounce. Great. We'll put a bounce there automatically for you. I'm really excited about that one. Just need to build it into the UI. So yeah, loads and loads and loads of cool things. One thing though, is that we also don't just want to be stuck in crypto. Crypto is a cool space, but you know what? There's Forex, there's stocks, there's indices, there's commodities, there's CFDs. Now we're going to have the single VEMA interface interacting with as many exchanges as we can, and it's going to be a complete unified interface. Whichever thing you're trading, monitoring the entire thing inside of VEMA, which I'm super excited about. But it's not just what we want, it's also what you, the customers, want to hear, because what you want, it drives what we do. And so we have on our pages, on our Help Center pages, we have the VEMA Trader community, which we've got all the different requests that people have been asking for. I love all these ideas. I love them so much. There's so many of them. And as people vote them, great. The number one was persistent chart drawings on a trade, on a chart. All right, cool. Guess what we're doing next? People are asking for it. Let's go ahead and build it, which is a lot of fun. And so please suggest your ideas. We'd love to hear them. Boom. And so, as you can see, a lot more value to come in future, a lot more cool features to be coming out over time. And so get in now while you can on this early price, because the price will go up in future. And as people are saying, it's freaking awesome. And it really is. I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, $85 for life, $850 for a year. Come along and get it, give it a go. We'd love to hear everything that you find about VEMA. And so on that note, what's the next slide? Pretty sure it's Q&A. Yes. On that case, thank you very much, everyone, for coming along tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the demo. Let's open it up to a Q&A. Hey, Mr. Joshua Sommer, would you like to fire off some questions to us all, mate?
Sure. Just want to say that was an awesome demo. That was incredible. Thank you, Donny, Rhys, Richard. Incredible, and I hope that was all you all wanted and more. So from today's Q&A session, we have I'll start it from the very top. Apologies if I get any names wrong during this process. Liana, I think you answered this already, Richard, but there's no harm in answering it again. Liana mentioned, one, can you make lists of pairs you like to trade, Richard?
So that is going to be coming, I believe it's next week. We're working on it at the moment. So at the moment, you just have a big list of FTX and all the different pairs that they have. And you go, you know what? I want to trade CRO, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you know what? Rhys's favorite, Doge. So you can then favorite those. They'll then appear at the top of all of the trading pairs for you until you say, no, I don't want to trade Doge anymore. What am I doing?
Awesome. And just to add that, you can always search for the trading pair, so you don't have to scroll endlessly through FTX trading pairs. Question number two, I'll go back to you, Richard. Can you do FTX spot trades?
So we can't do spot trades at the moment. No, we only support we do futures trading on BitMEX and on FTX. The reason for, yes, we will do spot in future, but the reason for it not being there now is that it's a lot more complicated and we want to be able to track it all properly. So I can go ahead and use my Australian dollar to buy some Bitcoin. Instead of going from Bitcoin to Australian dollar, I can go Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to BNB, BNB to USDT. Tracking all of that is an extra level of complexity. So that's why we don't have spot trading in VEMA yet. In time, absolutely though, absolutely.
Amazing. Leah also mentioned she just bought VEMA, which is awesome. Congratulations. Happy trading. Where does she go to get tutorials? Mr. Support himself, Rhys.
Hey, sorry, I was answering a question in the chat, but to find the tutorials, you want to go to support.vematrader, I believe. The problem with browsers, right, is I just type SUP and then it autofills the rest. Yeah, support.vematrader.com is the one. And then there is a tutorial section. I can't share my screen because I'm not the host, but you'll find it's literally in the middle of the screen when you go to support.vematrader. I'll put the link in the chat. In fact, I'll just link straight to the tutorials, and then you'll find a bunch of videos. There is also a getting started series. So if you haven't watched the getting started series, Alini, too quick, you beat me to it. If you haven't watched the getting started series, I'd start there because it sort of just gives you a really basic rundown of each of the VEMA functions. I think there's about 20 minutes worth of videos in that, so it's not going to take you too long to get through. And then the tutorials are sort of more detailed on specific, the bounce strategy. Here's what it is, here's how to use it, sort of things.
There's also a direct link to it in the Discord as well. So if you have joined VEMA, make sure you jump into the VEMA Discord because there is a bunch of quick links and stuff there. And there's a button there to take you straight to the tutorials.
We'll drop the Discord link in the Zoom chat shortly. Awesome. Thank you, Rhys. Phil Roberts mentioned actually on your trade that you're conducting on the demo, Rhys, what happens if you entered on alpha and then the next candle crosses Bravo? Will that enter you into the position twice?
Yeah, so great question, Phil. So no, so what VEMA does when it goes to enter a position is it first checks to make sure that there's no open positions on that contract already. So, if I opened a long and a short, set them up on VEMA, that way they can't interfere with each other. And I couldn't end up, adding to like 10 longs that I'd set up for different scenarios if they all triggered one after the other. So whichever one triggers first, that's the one that you'll be in until it closes. And then you might get into a second, but it'll never open a second while you're still in one currently on the one contract. On multiple contracts, if I wanted to be long and short on Bitcoin, I could use Bitcoin perp for my long and the quarterlies for my short for sure, but I just can't be long and short on Bitcoin perp.
Thank you. Richard, do we still need TradingView, or can you solely use VEMA?
Oh, that's a dangerous question to ask there, Mr. Sommer. So there are certain things that VEMA Trader, while it is using TradingView as the SDK for the main interface of the charts, there are still things that you can do in TradingView that you cannot do in VEMA for now. So like one that I really like doing is backtesting, and VEMA does not yet have any backtesting feature. I can tell you about that and how cool that's going to be when it comes out in a couple of months. But the backtesting at the moment in VEMA, I mean, what are you going to do? You go to TradingView and you can set the candle back and say, now let's start drawing plot. Hey, cool. There was my trade, my entry, what I saw. Go next candle, next candle, next candle. We also don't support Pine script for custom indicators yet at the moment. And so that'll be a cool one to work on. But I want to talk about the backtesting feature for a sec, because I'm so excited for that one. Can I do that anyway, Summer?
Of course. Of course. Go away.
Oh, hey there, Bubba. How you doing? Sorry. Come here. This is my daughter, Haley. She's a little athletic because she has a knitted ninja, which she calls Ninji. And so what we're talking about, backtesting feature. Backtesting is, so I want to make it that inside of VEMA Trader, you can say, I'm going to pick a random coin. Let's go back a year or two ago, random point in time. So you don't know what's going to come up next. And then, that's a surprise for later. And so then be able to put in your alpha trend line, your Bravo trend line, whatever, treat it as if it's the full trading experience end to end. And then say you put your TA on, and then it will go ahead and go candle, 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 candle. Hey, your alpha broke, candle, 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 candle. You hit your take profit. Woohoo! Good thing you had to journal on that particular trade. Rightio, let's scrap that one and start to go through the next candles. Oh, I can see a breakout's about to happen. Let's go and put my positions and set up everything end to end during the full setup. And then it'll tell you how that goes. Now, as you've gone through your whole testing and run over 1 to 2 years worth of data or whatever you go, stop practice session, and then it would go, here is the analysis of how you've gone. If you had started with a $10,000 account, you would now be at this value, and these are the strategies that work. Here's the full analysis of how you just performed. I'm really excited about that one. But to answer your question, do you still need TradingView at the moment?
Cool. Thank you. Donny, fees for placing trades, is that a thing with VEMA?
No. So all the trading still gets done on the exchange that you're connected with. We're just sort of, I guess, pushing the buttons for you. You're setting it up on VEMA. VEMA's pushing the buttons for you. Everything's still happening on your exchange. So no, we don't take a cut of the fees if that's what you're asking. There's no extra trading fees on top for using VEMA at all. There was something I was just going to add somewhat quickly, because someone mentioned it before about how VEMA's saved them so much time already. Like that's always been a big thing for me, but something that I realized when I first started using it, because I used to use a program very similar to VEMA Trader called 3 Commas. When I say similar, it's an automated trading platform, but very, very basic in the fact that you can only set orders, you can only set prices and things like that. No other sort of added features. But one thing that used to get me on that platform was the fact that sometimes you'd enter a trade, like automate a trade setup, and get stopped out straight away. Basically, you'd lose money. You'd wake up in the morning and 3 trades got in and then out, stopped out. One thing I've really noticed with VEMA, having conditions like minimum risk to reward means that when you do set up those trades, if it doesn't look that good and if it doesn't meet your risk to reward, it doesn't enter it. So the amount of trades that I've not entered due to not meeting conditions that would have potentially lost me money, I've actually saved money just from not entering poor quality trades. So yeah, that was just something I just want to bring up because someone sort of mentioned before about how much time it saved them and how much money it saved them from doing things like that. For me, it saves me money from losses that I would have normally taken, but VEMA doesn't take them because they're poor quality. So that's something to just keep in mind.
And that min RR tool is another.
It's gold.
It's gold. Yeah. You can when you create a trade, you can set up a min RR, and if min risk to reward, and if VEMA is about to enter the trade, but the RR for that is not what you set at the beginning, it will not enter that trade and not occur a loss or get into a bad trade. Great stuff. Thanks, Donny. Sure, Mac, can you run or open multiple instances of VEMA at once, looking at different tokens on each page or one at a time? I'll answer that one. Yeah, you can open up different tabs in your browser. You can have it on different browsers. You can have it on different computers. However you want to do it, you can go ahead and use VEMA, and it will store all your settings across all those devices and browsers and etc. Awesome. The other question we have is, will VEMA be connected to OKX in the future? Rhys, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, so OKX is the next exchange we're looking at implementing. So there are a couple of things like the persistent chart drawings and the favorite pairs list that we want to implement first. But because it's the next exchange we're looking at, yeah, it should, short of us finding some catastrophic reason that we can't conquer them, which I could imagine. I think Mike has sort of taken a preliminary look, and it's always going to have its complications, but Mike and Della are wizards. So yeah, absolutely, we are looking at getting OKX. I won't give any time frames. Like I said to Anthony there, I tend to assume everything's quick for the devs, and it never is. Yeah, wizard ninjas, exactly. They've got two sets of skills. They are really good at what they do.
And Donny, Rhys, is just on another question on that, is the experience the same when you're using different exchanges in VEMA? Is the experience different?
So to give you guys a little story, like when I got FTX, I don't know, like probably 2 years ago, I can't remember, but like I was kind of early onto FTX because a friend sent me his referral code and wanted me to use it. So I was like, all right, no worries. Never used it. So I was like, it's cross leverage, I can't really figure out how this exchange works. I'll just stick with BitMEX and Binance. I was happy there. It was only when Binance scrapped the leverage trading, I was like, right, I got to go somewhere else. I already had the FTX account. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll sort of move over there. And, I got to like it pretty quickly, but I was put off by having to learn a new interface and everything that comes with that. The beauty of VEMA is you don't have to learn a new interface for any exchange. It's the same interface for every single exchange. And I think one of the really cool things with that is we can potentially allow you to do things through VEMA that you can't do on the exchanges. Like anyone who's traded Binance Spot, obviously we don't have spot trading at the moment in VEMA, but if you've traded Binance Spot, you'll know that you can only use stop limit orders. You can't use stop market orders. With VEMA, we could essentially put stop markets on Binance. Like they would when, price hits your level on VEMA, we can just put a market in. We can have a stop limit to protect that in case, the market misses or anything, but we can give you the option of a stop market as well. So again, that's something that I've decided. So hopefully the devs aren't going to kill me for that one. But you only need to learn one interface for any exchange. And long term, we're not just talking crypto. So only having anyone who's used MT4 or MT5 will know that they're an absolute nightmare. And so, if you're familiar with VEMA's interface and can use that on different platforms, it's going to be pretty handy.
That's for sure. Thanks, Rhys. The next question we have is, does VEMA support BitMEX at the moment or just FTX? I'll answer that one. It's a pretty easy one. We offer or support both BitMEX and FTX at the moment, which is great. The next question we have in the chat, do we fund VEMA with our funds like we normally on exchange, or do we attach it to our exchange? Donny, you mentioned that really briefly. Do you want to just clarify that one more time?
Yeah, no, so like VEMA is just using API keys to interact with your exchange. When actually, I think there's a feature when you go to set the API keys up, a lot of the time on exchanges, there's a button to allow or not allow this API key to actually withdraw or deposit funds. We actually, I'm pretty sure it's still a feature that we actually will not connect your API if you don't have that ticked. So all VEMA can do is trade for you. It cannot withdraw, deposit, or anything like that. So you do not put any funds in VEMA. All your funds are still in the exchange. We're just doing the trading for you, or interacting with the trading APIs. So no, you don't put any money into VEMA.
Awesome. Richard, affiliate link or referral program, is that happening?
That is currently in the works at the moment and will be coming out, I believe, early to mid next week. We'll have something out for that. Absolutely.
Amazing things ahead. So share it around to all your friends when that comes around. Does VEMA do alerts, and is the idea with VEMA that you don't need alerts anymore? Mr. I don't need alerts, Rhys, do you want to answer that one?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I replied to that in the chat. So anyone who's read that, it's going to look like I'm repeating myself. But yeah, like I do have a TradingView subscription. I renewed it, I don't know, a month ago or whenever that was. But to be honest, I've really only used it to look at things that aren't on VEMA. You know, like some of my stock or Forex coins that I like, or pairs that I like to look at. In terms of crypto, I don't think I've actually looked at it on TradingView in that time. I don't set alerts anymore because, one, with the way I trade, I can literally just have VEMA enter for me. I don't really have to muck around with alerts, and I just don't really need alerts, right? Even if I wanted to wait for confirmation on a break, or especially on a bounce, you know, say I wanted to see a bull hammer or a bullish golfing form, I can use the distance to confirm condition, and it essentially does that for me. So I still don't really have to actually watch it, which is one of my favorite things. I gave up breakout trading years ago when I was working and doing things. I just didn't have time. I was missing so many alerts. You heard Ryan say earlier that he doesn't have to worry about missing alerts and missing trades now. It really takes care of that. So, you know, you might have things, especially like Richard said, like if you have custom indicators and you have alerts set up on them, then you're still going to want TradingView for that sort of thing. But personally, yeah, I don't really set alerts anymore on crypto. I just let them handle things for me.
Can I take that question from another approach?
Yeah, I was about to answer the other approach. Go, Rich.
Rhys doesn't want alerts, and that's fine. But we have had some people who have said they would very much so like to have alerts. And so, yes, we will absolutely put alerts in. There's enough people asking for it to say, hey, put my, when it comes to the trend line, let me know what I'm going to do. It's going to hit this one. Oh, it's hit it again. Let me decide if I'm going to take action or not. Absolutely, we will have that in future. Yes.
Yeah. And we also have currently alerts for every time you log in for security. Every time you enter a trade, exit a trade, or a trade doesn't enter because it doesn't meet your conditions at trade creation. So there is some of the alerts we do send, and they come via email at the moment. Cool. So the next question, there is, I think everyone's on the ball with this, but with answering it already in the chat. But Donny, persistent chart drawings, do they stay? Drawings on the chart at the moment, what's ahead?
Currently not, but it is the current thing that the devs are working on right now. So I don't think it's too far off, which is basically, you know, if you come in and do some charts and then you go, I'll come back to this tomorrow. When you log back in, your drawings are gone. So it doesn't save them, but that is something that we're working on right now. But that's not, it's odd. Like, it came up a lot as a request from a lot of people. It never really bothered me because basically when I draw my charts, I set up my trades and then I'm done. My trade might be set to probably not be triggered for another 3 or 4 days. So I don't really need to come back. And, you know, I don't know if I'm making sense, but I don't really need to draw a chart and then come back in 3 days to then set my trade. I would draw it, set it up, and then leave it. So it's never really been an issue for me, but I do understand why people want it. But yeah, that is coming very, very soon. Yeah, any day now.
Yeah, any day. And interesting. Thanks, Donny. I was actually on a call with Alini the other day, and she actually mentioned that it's actually kind of satisfying to have a clean chart at sometimes, which is quite an interesting thought. It removes that sort of bias that you may have prior to coming to start your charting. So there's a different approach to that, and down the line we'll be able to have the option to do obviously both. Great. So Sean Mack mentioned, do you have access to create a list from TradingView, or do we need to wait for favorite pair functions to replace that sort of thing? That is correct. Just favorite pair functions will replace that sort of thing. Do you want anything else to add there, Richard?
No, except I guess we're looking to do more than just have the charts be drawable on the charts. Like for version 1 of what will come out in the next couple of days will be your charts stick around if you want them to, and you can clear them off if you want. But then incorporating watch lists into that to be able to have multiple types of charts. So, hey, I want to have what I'm looking at on the daily, and I want to have a different type of chart, what I'm looking for on the 15 minutes. And I don't want my stuff from the daily to be on that 15-minute chart. So to be able to have have, let's say, Bitcoin as your favorite and always at the top of the list, but also be able to say, it's going to save my chart, but let me have 2 separate views of looking at it. Absolutely. I'd extend that a little further than just yes.
Cool. And DZ, you mentioned, will the persistent chart drawings only stay on one computer, or they save across devices? Across devices, yes. Definitely. There was one in there. I'll go to Donny here, and I'm sure you've done your taxes many times for not only crypto, but I can imagine other commodities you trade. Do you see VEMA having a taxation report sort of feature?
Yeah, this has been something that I've really pushed for, because it's a really painful task. Anybody who has been trading, fairly actively for a long period of time would know the pain point of tax time and collecting all that data. So that's been a big one for me. It was a request I made right at the start. I said, we need to have tax reporting. I had sort of envisioned the idea that come tax time, we could log into our back office, literally press print, and it would download or print out a copy with everything. So, we've got the ability to look at your entire trading history, hopefully the ability to sort of navigate through trading fees, profits and losses. And at the end of the day, print out a report that you could take to your account and literally say, here's how much money I made, here's how much money I lost, here's how much money I paid in fees, your job after that. So yeah, that is definitely something we want to do. It's not working currently, but we're collecting data so we can eventually do it once we've figured out how to sort of spit that out in the correct fashion.
Awesome. Imagine doing that across commodities as well, which would be insane. All in one platform. Across multiple
exchanges, across multiple markets. Yeah, it'd be crazy. Like I trade all markets, not all, but I trade crypto, I trade stocks on both the Australian and New York Stock Exchange, and I trade commodities and futures. So it's a painful task for me to collect the data from all these different brokerages and exchanges I use. So that's sort of why I was like, shit, if I can do everything in one and print out one sort of report that collects everything for me, and I don't have to leave VEMA, like that's gold for me. So I'm sure that'll be very helpful for other people as well.
That's for sure. Richard, somebody dropped about copy trade function or etc. Similar things. Notice I'm passing over to Richard. What is your thoughts on that?
I think it's an interesting thing to look into in future. It's not something that's anywhere near on our near-term roadmap. No. What we do, like straight up copy trading. Hey, Alini, you're a great trader. I'm just going to do whatever you do. That's not really what VEMA Trader was built for. I think it's a cool idea, but at the same time, I'm a bit nervous about it. So maybe in future, I don't want to rule it out because it could be another type of product that we could offer on a different subscription tier. But in the short term, no. What we would instead be looking to do there is a kind of group analytics. So there's a bunch of trading groups out there. Say that you were a part of trading group A, and then say, hey, I would like to join trading group A, and then be able to have be part of their group and then let them have access to an aggregate level of your data. Like maybe you don't want to have access to your specific every single trade plan, but you might say, they can see my win rate, how many trades I've done over what time, and different stats over there. And they could do aggregation analytics over the top of all of their traders in the group and say, rightio, looks like most people are winning when they're going long. Oh, look at that. We do educational content and it looks like a lot of people are trying to trade fibs and are losing. Well, we can therefore start to do some education content around how to use fibs better. And then maybe they would love to do that. How to use fib better inside of VEMA. That'd be pretty cool. But so we'd more attack it from that angle and then have those groups be able to do leaderboards. It would all be opt-in if you wanted to. And you'd have to agree that you want to go for it and not just force your data to be available. But then you would say, all right, I want to be able to, of this group or overall VEMA, who would like to participate in the next trading competition? Who can get the biggest risk reward as and win on live trading? Great, let's give them a prize. Or be able to identify who are the top performing traders by different stats inside of that group. I think that'd be a lot of fun to do. Long-winded no to something else that I think could be more fun for us and more in line with what we want VEMA to be.
It goes against why we created it in the first place.
Exactly.
As well, right?
Yeah.
It was a trading tool to help develop your skills and create good habits and things like that. And to be honest, I've always been against copy trading. Being an educator in this space, copy trading to me just seems like a real easy way out. And to be honest, it doesn't really work that well. There's a lot of reasons why copy trading doesn't work.
I remember when I first demoed VEMA to Donny and I showed him, I said, imagine you can do this copy trading thing. And he was like, if you're doing copy trading, man, I don't really want to be involved with you at all. It's like, okay, that's a hard no. Let's not go that. Let's hear your reasons. And he's completely convinced me against it, that it's actually something, a direction that we don't want them to go in, at least in any kind of near term.
Spot on. But I think that share function and that sort of community section will be extremely powerful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, hey,
stuff,
yeah, oh, Rhys is going to publicly show what he's up to. Great, that's cool. Let's see what Rhys is up to. Let me go into Rhys's public profile that he's allowing people to go and look at. And what is he doing? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I more like the idea of it being, I like what Rhys is doing, except his risk is too big for what I want. I'm not comfortable doing that. So I might recreate the trade myself manually in my own account, but then adjust it. It's like Rhys has got this really tight stop loss because he's a crazy ass badass. That mode just gives him a big ego. I'm going to move my stop loss down to give me maybe a less risk reward. But I'm more confident of having that one. But that would still be a manual process for me to go and do.
Amazing. I think.
Sorry to cut you off there. Sorry, mate. We've been going for nearly an hour and a half at this point. There's starting a bit of drop off, and I do love a good giveaway. Do you mind if I steal the?
Of course, I was actually going to wrap it up.
Awesome. Cool. So, hey, everybody, thank you so much for coming. Go ahead and scan the QR code. Get yourself over to vematrader.com. Boom, sign up now. Remember the sign up bonus. It's there, that lifetime price. Miss it by Sunday and price is going up and you can pay a little bit more. Bugger, get in early. And so what we'd love to do is a lovely giveaway tonight. So everyone who is here tonight, I have gone ahead and put everyone's name into the spinamajig, as I like to call it. There's 44 people on the call. There's more than that on this because I put this together earlier. Boom, Soma, give us the countdown.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, where's it gonna go? I hope whoever wins is like on the call so they can see that they have win. Who do we have? Ben. Woo!
Ben, is he there?
Ben he's not on the call anymore. So
spin it again.
That's no fun. Let's give that a spin.
Mulder.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mulder.
Is awesome. Fantastic. Where do I send you a message? I have to go over here to send a chat to MAO. Hey, boom.
Congratulations.
Winner, chicken dinner. I was hoping Kaylee was going to get it, to be honest. When I saw her name, I was like, that'd be good.
Are you?
I call it rigged, but.
If she won, Kaylee was going to get to go and get a one of the party poppers and go bang. All right, there we go. Hey, fantastic! Congratulations. We do another one for the fun of it.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, there we go. Boom. Yeah, another. I love it. Who have we got? And Anna's just missed it. Sorry. Anastasia, congratulations. You have won yourself 1 month worth of VEMA Trader. I hope you absolutely love it as much as we do. There we go. I've just sent you a PM to Mayora and Anastasia. Sent you a private message in the Zoom chat. Get in touch with myself and I will hook you up with a free month. Awesome. All right. I just seen a message pop up from Benjamin there. Benjamin Small. Are you working off Melbourne time or Sydney time? We are they, now that daylight savings has ended, is Melbourne and Sydney on different time zones?
No, I think it's still the same. 8:50 for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
8:50. Melbourne, Sydney, same time.
Maybe you got.
Yeah, okay, so you're in Queensland. Yeah, so sorry, your question was, are you in Melbourne or Sydney? Wow. So we're in Sydney time, mate. Absolutely Sydney time. Great. All right, I'll remove that and go back over to, if I close this one, I think I'm back over there. Boom. There we go. Hey, Rhys, sign us off, mate.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out when daylight savings does end because I actually have no idea. So we'll figure that one out later. Yeah, no, thanks so much for coming, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you think it's cool, because I certainly do. And yeah, thanks heaps for being here. Hope you all have a great night and happy trading. Talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you, everyone.
Thank you very much for attending, everybody.